What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. Excuse the dome. I just got to get up and show you guys something. I got some new solo leveling merch and I think it looks badass, so I want to share with you. Don't look down here because I got my gray sweatpants on. Look up here. All right, check this out. Check this out. Look at this. Solo leveling SJW Arise from the Shadows. That's right. I got this shirt and I wanted to share that with you guys real quick before the actual video started. So without further ado, let's get into the actual video. What is this video about, Payne? Well, listen, we got ourselves some new weapons. We got a new weapon coming along the way very soon, so I wanted to do an update on the most powerful weapon combinations in the game as it currently sits. So we're going to cover all of that, including every single piece of content you can use these weapons and the best combinations and why. So let's start off with the usual combinations that you're going to be using for weapons. Now, I'm going to talk about SJW weapons specifically, and we're going to talk about why they're powerful and where they can be used. All right, so let's start off with the first one. So a little bonk stick. The Divine Quarterstaff currently sits the best combination with the following gold-tailed fox. These two combinations are the best light weapons in the game as it stands. Probably the best and easiest way to kill Damos, and the most efficient way to do it as well too. So I would say if you don't have the gold-tailed fox right now because you missed out on the event, the only other weapon that really stands close to this because of its utility is going to be the Plum Sword. Unfortunately, not that powerful when it comes down to using it on Damos because of the resistance to dark, but can be used pretty much anywhere else. So remember this: Plum Sword, Moonshadow Daggers, Grimoire universal weapons, right? They can be pretty much used everywhere, but that I would say is the best combination currently for light. That's going to be the Divine Quarterstaff with the golden-tailed fox, or the gold-tailed fox. Number two, coming in as a brand new weapon to the edition, which never existed before, we're talking about the Fan of the Fire Demon with the Phoenix Soul. That's right, this weapon is so damn potent, especially because the Fan of the Fire Demon increases all damage of fire weapons or skills, at the same time provides you a heavy break and gives you a powerful fire buff that lasts for the entire fight, plus is AoE and does insane amount of damage. Combine it with the Phoenix Soul, you are now blasting everything to smithereens, including a massive amount of core damage and AoE. So these two are incredibly powerful together, and once again used against Damos to kill him faster. I would say faster than anything else except for the Quarterstaff and the gold-tailed fox. So this is number two at the moment when it comes down to WOBL, in my opinion, this being number one. Feel free to interject in any way, shape, or form on this. Some people will say this is number one. Some people will say this is number one. My experience, the light weapons are better, but the fire units are better. So that's just my take on it, okay? Let's talk about number three. Let's go with Guild Boss. Moonshadow Daggers with the Grimoire. That's right, this combination has not been beaten yet for any single GB. Doesn't matter what Guild Boss has been so far. If it's Fuck Nah or Queen Booty, she definitely gets her ass whooped with this combination. So this is going to be by far the best combination that you have, whether you're running DPS spec or support spec. These two are the absolute best together for guild bosses. So we're talking about two of the best universal weapons combined. Now let's combine this one. Moonshadow Daggers with the Plum Sword. Another really powerful combination. Can be used during Dark Day for POD. Can be used against Baron. Non-POS, of course. Hard mode, normal, easy, it doesn't matter. These two combinations cannot be beat together for Dark and can be used on Igris and Encores and any other gate. So Moonshadow Daggers and Plum Sword, another intensely powerful combination and pretty much should be used everywhere. Now, if you don't have the fan with the Phoenix Bow, you could use Plum Sword with the Phoenix Bow. Another, again, very potent combination. Or believe it or not, the Grimoire in the Phoenix Bow, because Erosion here allows you to do more damage with your elemental damage, especially with the weakness. So if you are fighting something that has fire resistance, you want to freeze them plus cause erosion, you can do 24% more damage with the Phoenix Bow. But of course, the two best combinations for fire is going to be this, two dark combinations this, GB this, Damos this, Damos this. All right, now another one that needs to be mentioned, and this may change in the near future, is going to be Plum Sword and the Demon King's Dagger. That's right, both of them are insane amount of multi-hits, both of them are insane amount of damage. Well, one is insane amount of damage and one provides insane amount of crits, a crit damage and an attack increase, but most importantly, they stack expert very quickly, and you cannot currently in a DPS match beat the Demon King's Dagger for overall damage. I would say this is by far the best DPS weapon in the game. Unfortunately, with Damos, of course, being strong against wind, it kind of puts it down the totem pole a little bit of usage, but for those who are currently using or fighting Baron or fighting Vulcan and are brand new and you haven't got the Damos yet, this is going to be the powerhouse weapon you use. And I'm also incredible for Wind Day and also any type of wind content. You won't find anything better than the Demon King daggers. Notable entrance into this category, of course, is going to be the Demon King longsword. If you do have that with the DKDs, they also work fairly well together, just not quite as good as the plum sword, but DKL, and I find honestly DKL and Grimoire or DKL and Moonshadow daggers I find work really well together for me personally. And then also another notable light one is going to be the Golden Tail Fox or the plum sword with the Truth Demon Knight spear. Okay, so that's another one here that's fairly powerful as well. Hey guys, before we go any further, just remember the content creator program is still up. Please click that support button, get yourself some free codes. We've got 6 codes and the season is almost ending where everyone's going to have to eventually extend to get more codes. Plus we have an exclusive code coming out for the content creators, the 30 plus videos, plus all of the seasonal codes that were given out are also going to apply. So please guys, click that support button, get yourself some free codes. I send them usually on the daily, and get yourself some better overall loot in your mailbox. All right guys, I'll be right back with the rest of the video. All right guys, continue on with the honorable mentions. Like I mentioned before, the Zeke's fragment and Moonshadow daggers works extremely well together. Zeke's fragment does not work quite as well with the plum sword. I find we did a lot of testing and I found that the Moonshadow dagger seems to work a lot better with it. So that combination is a great combination for dark if you don't have the plum sword and the Moonshadow dagger, which I don't know why you wouldn't have that. And then of course we have the plum sword and the scythe, which also works extremely well together. Now for those folks who want to use SR weapons, do not neglect some of these, all right? So for example, the Orb of Avarice works really well with the new fan as well, so you guys can combine those two together. Also, the Golden Tail Fox with the Redoer's Family Longbow works extremely well together. And don't forget, if you have SL on the team, you actually end up doing more damage with this weapon, which is crazy to me. I know it's got our family name on it, but it's hilarious anyways. And of course, we have ourselves the Westwind here, which also does fairly decent damage still to this point, especially when you combine it with the plum sword. So again, you guys can see for the most part, plum sword makes all the difference at the end of the day. And also don't forget, we have another SSR weapon that was given to us for free, and that is this right here, the Truth Kasaka Venom Fangs. Works extremely well with the Grimoire, works really well with Moonshadow daggers, and works really well with the plum sword. I think that pretty much covers most of the weapons I would consider to be OP. You guys can see everything else here is SR. I wouldn't go too far into SR weapons, guys. They've now been pretty much replaced with SSR weapons, and honestly, for the most part, like for example, an A3 SSR weapon could probably outdo an A7 to an A10 SR weapon. So it's now in your best interest to go ahead and get those. Now, if you are looking to summon on weapons, it's up to you how you want to combine this. You can either go for the following, you can go for the fan and the bow. Unfortunately, the bow I would suggest is not as strong. What I would recommend instead is perhaps go for the quarterstaff, especially if you have the Golden Tail Fox. I find the quarterstaff to be the strongest weapon. And then of course, if you don't have the plum sword and the Moonshadow dagger, those are going to work still incredibly well together when it comes down to almost any content except for the brand new WOBL. The main thing to remember, of course, is the upcoming Workshop of Brilliant Light is most likely going to be water and wind. I'm assuming they're going to reset the whole clock considering what units are coming out, but that could also change and be completely different. So right now, as it stands, those are the best meta weapons in the game. If you have anything that I've missed, please comment in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think as well in terms of the list I provided. Plus, please don't forget to subscribe, like, hit that notification button. We're almost at 100K, guys, and I really appreciate that we push that and get ourselves there as soon as possible so we can have an incredible 100K live stream together and celebrate the journey that has led up to this point. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching again. Please click that like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.